without the profit motive, and we can't get there unless we take it away from it. We don't even know. We have to stop living where we imagine that just because what is today or what they tell us scientifically is the way things will be in the future. I think we need to be careful about when we talk about overconsumption, because there's such vast inequality in the world. Vast inequality. Right now, there is a tremendous and heroic militant struggles going on in Haiti. They never stop. It's incredible. The Haitian people are amazing. And one of the reasons is because the corrupt U.S. fostered government in Haiti is going to raise the price of diesel fuel. Do we think that's a good thing? We cannot think that's a good thing, because there is nothing else available to them. And this will hurt the poorest people in Haiti. This will not hurt the diesel manufacturers or anything like that. We have to be, in order, I feel, for the climate movement to succeed, which I'm very encouraged by what's happening. And I believe we're at the beginning of this movement. And that's why, as we go forward, what we're for and what we push for in the movement is so important. We're not against the workers in the oil fields. Communities have been artificially made dependent on oil production. You know, if I were to run for office in Louisiana, I'd get baited as a former New Yorker. But the oil company executives, the owners of the oil companies, they don't live in Louisiana. They suck the money out and go somewhere else, and that's okay. Well, I'm a worker all my life. It's all these things that they tell us. But we cannot fight for a global world which is free from climate change unless we fight for equality for the whole world. When we say we're against imperialist wars, what we're saying is we are standing in solidarity with our sisters and brothers in every part of the globe. And that's got to be part of the climate fight, because there are those who overconsume. So what do we mean by overconsumption? We know that these executives have like 8 mansions, 12,000 cars, and all this, and they are so overconsumed in everything, or all kinds of stuff that's produced that we really don't need, you know, all kinds of stuff that's consuming energy. That goes back to the planning issue that Gregory raised, where you really plan. There's not everybody. There was a comment made by this woman, Greta. She said the problem is there's too much air conditioning. And I was really angry. Because we have people here in New Orleans and Orleans Parish that are too poor that don't have air conditioning. Air conditioning is a health issue. Air conditioning is the right of every human being that lives in a climate that is hot. Does that mean that the production of electricity and energy is dependent upon polluting means? Absolutely not. And I don't believe that's the way it has to be produced. But don't be sitting in privilege and say that that is the issue, when we need to fight for every person in this parish, in Louisiana, Mississippi, in India, or everywhere else, where people have died this year from extreme heat, who do not have access to air conditioning. Air conditioning opened up the South to the capitalist class. When air conditioning was really made big in the South, it made a boom. But what about for the people? We can't have the mindset that technology in and of itself is the issue. The problem is we're not in control of the technology. We don't organize it. We don't control it. There's an AIDS epidemic that has been going on for how long? For how long? And what the capitalists do, even in the research, is divide everybody up against the world. And there's competition between companies for who can come up with a vaccine. But when they wanted to build the atom bomb, they had a Manhattan Project, and they brought scientists from all around the world to build this bomb. But they can't do this to fight the AIDS crisis, or cancer, or poverty, or anything else, because they're in control. So we're not saying that we can't do anything about the situation until the socialist revolution comes and we overthrow capitalism. But that's how we're going to repair the planet, in solidarity with the whole world. We're saying now that the struggle is on. We want to reach out to the oil workers in Louisiana and say, You can be the leaders in this fight. You have been victimized. You, your communities, your families, and everybody. And the workers group will support you. You come up with a plan for how you can have industry or jobs that are sustaining, that are healthy, that will not disappear in ups and downs of the capitalist oil market, which is what happens to them. It's feast or famine. And we can work with you, but you're going to be the leaders in the struggle. You're going to come up with a plan. We're going to go to the workers and say that to them. When the workers get up and say, we're sick of it, and this is happening. There are loggers in the West, in the Pacific West, that are joining forces to say, we can't keep cutting down all these trees. We want a different life. There are workers, and there are unions that are getting into this. What struck me about that incredible demonstration on Friday around the world was its internationalism. What great hope to unify and for U.S. people especially to see the world in solidarity with the world. And that means it's got to be a world of equality. You know, where we're not saying you shouldn't have it, even though we have it here. Even though what we have here is killing us, and we don't want it to be that way either. I think that's really important. And we can do that, but it's going to take fight. And it's going to take all of us getting in there and saying, so all these young people, I want to, during the civil rights movement, young people forged ahead with bravery. They were the ones that pushed that movement forward. Don't ever take it away from the youth that refused to give in to any of it, no matter what was said and done and what they were advised to do. We should get, all these youth should stop seeing the workers as part of the problem and see them as the allies. And we should have a national global day of go to the workers. Who goes to the workers and talks to them? Who goes to them and says, we appreciate your work that you've done over the years. We have lived off a lot of what you have done, what you have sacrificed for all of us. We appreciate you. They don't appreciate you. We appreciate you. But we can't go on like this. Your communities, coastal Louisiana can't go on like this. Lafourche Parish can't go on like this. We have to do something different. It's up to you. You can do it. We're not preaching them coming in to be some missionaries here. And we need other people in the movement who are not afraid to go out and talk to workers here, in Chalmette, in Jefferson Parish, in Lafourche Parish, or anywhere else in Louisiana that we can. Because they need to live, they need to eat. We can't just say, forget it, live on air. We want to put up a fight. We want to put up a fight for reparations for Louisiana from the oil companies that guarantees every worker in this state a home, a job, who has been made artificially dependent. Just like they've made communities dependent on mass incarceration. Shut down the factories and build a prison. We don't accept that. We don't accept that one is a substitute to the other. And one city in New York State, they refused it. They said that's not what we need, but how we want to live in our lives. And we don't want a prison here. We need some other way to make a living. But it's up to us. See, we just can't stand on the sidelines on these issues. We have to come up with a program and be willing to organize. Because no matter how great the youth are, and I have a lot of tremendous admiration for what they pulled off on Friday, and that's going to only get stronger, hopefully. When they say their slogan was, we will not back down, I think they mean it, but they got a long way to go. But think of a strike where the workers didn't go to work because of climate change. Now you can bring the ruling class to their knees in terms of change right here and now as we go on to fight for the whole overthrow of the capitalist class.
I agree that it's really hard to follow up with a response like that. Yeah, you're 100% right. It has to be a climate-oriented working class movement, and it has to be large. I think a lot of the weaponry that they use is just pitting us against each other as well. It goes as far back. It goes to the air conditioning, but it also goes to food as well. which just the culture that we all live in. In the United States, it's a first world country. Europe is first world country, but the rest of the world is poor, right? Central Asia, people living in Kazakhstan don't have very much. South America, Vietnam, right? The standard of living is pretty low. People are a lot happier with a lot less, whereas here, everything, a lot of people can't live without the supercharged blender, smoothie maker, or whatever it might be, right? It's to the point where it's dirty and it's people look down on others for looking or foraging for food in the trash, right? Where this is the society that we live in, where we live in squalor compared to the rest of the world. And if somebody is eating out of the trash because that's what the system created, we not only do we throw away food, but we place companies like Walmart pile it and destroy it so that people can't even dig in the trash. There are the trash bins here in New Orleans with the panels on them, the solar panels, but they're locked, so homeless people can't dig into the trash. That's something that specifically, only something that they would notice, but something that which the rest of us might not consider. Food is also a really big issue. I'm thinking about some struggles, some instances in history where workers have come together in the past, and food has been something that unites everybody. Food has been something that unites the people when nobody has enough. So when the literal bare necessities are not being met. So it does need to be a climate-oriented struggle. That I don't really know how I wanted to wrap that up, but again, hard to follow up. Yeah, but that's all. So.
This might be totally different from what other people have said, but I just have one burning question. So we talked about U.S. military and how they have bases all around the globe, and I think one of the biggest polluters, we should not vote for them. But I do have a friend who got an education by going to military, and her boyfriend also got an education from military, and he has a college. And but they're also workers, so how can you bring those people who got their education and career out to work into military outside?
Great question. You know, start military man and six
What I was saying is, we know that historically, the military has been an escape route from the countryside, from inner cities, people last real life in the county. We are not making criticism of people who are in the military. We're making criticism of the military in and of itself. The military is being used by the ruling classes to impose its will on other people, not only here but around the world. And so when we make these criticism about the military being a cheap polluter, the user and waste more fuel and fossil resources than anybody else, we're making criticism because we find that we live in the credit, which is resting on the military industrial complex as one of the chief components of the economy. And if we really want to tackle eliminating some of these problems, we have to go to the source and the military is one of those solutions. So the next question, of course, that we've got to face is, we live in a society ruled by a class that don't give a goddamn about